top 5 Canadian musical acts who had commercial success in the United States. Right now, U.S.-Canada relations have probably never been worse in my lifetime. And it's a shame because we're friends. It's really sad, isn't it? And I absolutely love Canada. I really do. I'm an American, okay? But I love Canada. You guys hear me? You Canadians hear me? I love you guys. Okay, and I love your country, and I love visiting, and I love your music. You've given us such great music, and to distill it down just to 5 is really difficult, but that's what we have to do in this video. Not to mention comedy. Like, Canada has given us great comedians as well. Okay, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about music. So as to Canadian musicians, there are just so many to choose from. It's insane, really. But they can't all be on the list, nor should they be. And I'm just going to say this right now that I don't really listen to that much music. Hey, there's some Canadian geese right now. Speaking of Canada. There they go. They're going the wrong way. They're supposed to be going south right now, right? I don't know where they think they're going. Anyway, I guess it's still pretty hot right now. Where was I? Jeez. Oh yeah, I don't really listen to that much music. Like I do, I am a musician and I'm a music fan, but damn it. Okay, I think we're back, hopefully. You know what one of the hardest things is about making YouTube videos is just finding the space to do it, where people aren't gonna mess with you and bug you and make fun of you. It's so annoying. Anyway, Canadian musicians. I don't listen to that much music, really. For a musician and a music fan, I don't. Like, it takes a lot for me to go check something out. I have to hear it, I have to be like, what is that? And then I have to want to go check it out. And just most things I hear, I don't feel that way. I just like, whatever. So I'm probably not qualified to really make this list, but I'm gonna do it anyway, okay? Freaking. Hello? Bye. So we have to make the list. I have to do it. Here we go. So if you know anything about me, if you know me at all, you already know who's number 1 on my list, okay? But I'm gonna save it for later. It's hands down number 1. It's the best musical act out of Canada ever. And it's not even close as far as I'm concerned. So I'm sorry, Bieber, it's not you. But we'll get to that in due time. So coming in at number 5, we have Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf. First of all, their band name is the title of a novel by one of my favorite writers, Herman Hesse, or Herman Hesse, whatever you say it, however you say it. So they're scoring some points right there, okay? Their big hits, Magic Carpet Ride, Born to Be Wild. I love them already, okay? My favorite one is Magic Carpet Ride of their hits. It comes in hot, okay? It is a hard rock tune. They are like way ahead of their time as far as I'm concerned. This is from 1968, I believe. That's insane. They're so vibey. They're like psychedelic. They're heavy. The vocals are insane. It's pretty dark, some of it. If you go to some of their deeper cuts, they're really trippy, and it kind of just feels like you're on a bad trip with them in a good way. Okay, it's a little bit scary at times, but I do enjoy Steppenwolf. I listened to them a lot when I was growing up. Technically, I guess they got their start in LA, but they are from Canada originally. Okay, so Steppenwolf coming in at number 5. Yeah. Moving on to number 4, we have the Guess Who. And I could have just put Randy Bachman, because then we'd have BTO too, right? I mean, the dude was taking care of business in a real way. Also from that same era as Steppenwolf, the late 60s, early 70s, the Guess Who sort of had a similar vibe at times. They weren't as heavy, I don't think. They weren't quite as trippy, but they did get a little bit heavy, and they did have a sort of psychedelic side, but they also had that kind of lounge singer jazzy vibe. And Randy Bachman's vocals are amazing, and I really dig the guitar sounds, like These Eyes. I don't know, there's just some great sounds, great songs, sing-alongs. Like, I think those recordings really stand up to the test of time. Like, go listen to them now, they're still good. Everybody likes the Guess Who, right? Who doesn't love the Guess Who? So sadly, Tal Bachman is not on this list. If you know, Tal Bachman, I believe, is Randy Bachman's son, who was a one-hit wonder people say that like it's a bad thing. I wish I could be a one-hit wonder, because one hit is really all you need. But his hit was like, I think early 2000s, She's So High. You know, as far as early 2000s pop songs on the radio go, not the worst, but not good enough to make this list. Okay, so Tal Bachman not on the list. Randy Bachman, definitely Canadian legend, on the list with the Guess Who. So they're at number 4. Okay, so who's next? Number 3. We're getting up there. Is it going to be Avril Lavigne? Nah, you know it's not going to be. But it is a lady. Okay, any guesses? It is the great Joni Mitchell. And I'm super amazed by Joni Mitchell. All those alternate tunings. Her guitar work is pretty cool, pretty unique. Songwriting kind of strange, in my opinion, a little bit weird, but it works with her voice, and it's still catchy enough to be on the radio. But there's a lot of like unique songcraft there. And she could sing jazz too. I really think she could have just been a jazz singer, probably, if that's what she wanted to do. She covered Charles Mingus' Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, which is amazing. And you know who her backing band was for the Shadows of Light tour, I think, an album? It was Pat Metheny on guitar, Lyle Mays on keys. Okay, there's the core members of the Pat Metheny group, already pretty incredible. Jaco Pastorius on bass. Obviously Jaco and Metheny played together on Bright Side's Life and other stuff, so they knew each other. Don Elias, is that how you say it? On drums. Anyway, he played on Bitches Brew. Like, he played with Miles and stuff. Crazy. And then Michael Brecker on saxophone. What? That's like Dream Team backing band. And, you know, they weren't strictly playing jazz. They were a little bit, but they were playing Joni's tunes. That alone means she should be on this list. But Joni coming in at number 3, respectable. Okay, so we're at number 2. We're getting up there. And I just want to say, actually, these are in no particular order, except for number 1. Number 1 definitely belongs at number 1. Everything else is just 4 Canadian acts that I had to choose, you know, and I don't really like, and I say that now because this group, I actually, if I had to do this again, I would probably put them at like number 5 or 4. But anyway, here we are. They're coming in at number 2. They are prog rock legends, okay? And it's not Tate McRae. It's not Nickelback. Do you want it to be Nickelback? It's not. It's not Shania Twain, okay? It's Rush, okay? Why is it Rush? I'm actually not a huge Rush fan, not because I dislike them or anything. I just, once again, I never really took the time to go check them out like that. Of course, I've heard their hits and stuff. I'm familiar with them, okay? I know Geddy Lee, Neil Peart, and the other guys, okay? They're phenomenal musicians. I get that. They're playing in weird time signatures some of the time. The vocals are like falsetto, doing some weird melodies. I don't know where he's coming up with these things, and he's rocking the bass, shredding the bass at the same time. Prog guitar solos, all that I love. But the real reason they're on this list, to tell you the truth, is because I was at an event earlier this afternoon. It was like a going back to work, beginning of the school year thing. I'm a teacher, and we're all the teachers in the whole district are all crammed into this auditorium, and they're giving us pep talks. And I'm sitting next to this lady, this teacher, and the speaker tells us, hey, turn to your neighbor and tell him something you did over the summer that you're proud of, or something like that. And she says to me, I saw Rush. I'm a huge Rush fan. She reveals this tattoo on her leg that's, I didn't really look too close at it, but I assume it's something to do with Rush. And she's then mentioned some ungodly amount of money that was spent to acquire tickets to go see Rush this summer. And then she tells me that Geddy Lee winked at her multiple times from the stage. So that is the real reason she convinced me to be a Rush fan. So now I feel like I really have to go and check out their albums and actually really become a Rush connoisseur. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'm going to go check them out a little bit more. They're coming in at number 2. Honestly, they just seem better than the other people that I could have chosen. So Rush at number 2. Okay. Who's at number 1? I told you, this is... It is the bard, the great Canadian bard, the troubadour, Gordo. Yes, Gordon Lightfoot. The late, great Gordon Lightfoot, without a doubt, my favorite Canadian musician ever. I can't think of a better songwriter. I can't think of anyone I would rather hear with a 12-string, with a 6-string, and just their songs and their voice than Gordon Lightfoot, okay? The lyrics, the whole thing, the delivery, the attitude. He's talking about his country, his love of country. You know, he's acknowledging the sins of his forefathers, but he's a patriot, a Canadian patriot. And you know what? Bob Dylan said amazing things about Gordon. Elvis covered Gordon Lightfoot songs, or a song, anyway. I can't, forget Canada, I can't think of a better songwriter anywhere than Gordon Lightfoot. He is, without a doubt, my favorite songwriter, like in that sort of singer-songwriter acoustic guitar thing, ever. There's no one that even comes close for me, okay? I actually got a chance to see him once. My brother dragged me out to a show in Tacoma with my dad, and it was like late Gord. He had the synthesizer, you know, he didn't have the pedal steel, and, you know, because I'm not that old. I mean, I'm almost 40, but this is late Gord we're talking about, okay? And he's playing at a casino. He's playing the hits. His voice is a little shrill. I don't care. I loved it. I'm so glad that I got the chance to see him. I grew up listening to Gord. But you know what? All I heard growing up was mainly the Gord's Gold Volume 1 that has, like, I think it has Sundown, Early Morning Rain, If You Could Read My Mind, Don Quixote. So I knew all those songs. And then there was a couple other ones that I knew of. Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, Baby Step Back, the hits, right? But I had never gone deep into the album cuts until like my 30s. And when I did, I was just floored. Because the deeper I went, the better it got. And like, I especially like the kind of up-tempo, like when Gord gets a little rockin'. He has such depth to what he can do, you know. So anyway, I can't say enough good things about Gordon Lightfoot. He takes the cake. No one did it better as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think anybody's going to. So there you have it, my top 5 Canadian musical acts. You notice how they're all a little bit on the older side, like they're from the 60s, 70s. That was kind of their heyday. I didn't do that on purpose, like, and granted, I'm maybe not as familiar with some of the new stuff, but I know about your Tate McRae's and your Biebers and your Drakes and all, and, you know, Bare Naked Ladies and all these. But they're just not on my list. And, you know, it made me think, I just tend towards this kind of older music, and it's not for nostalgia either. Like, I don't think, because these are acts that were all from before my time. You know, these are from the 60s and 70s, and I think it's just that popular music, in my opinion, just used to be better. It just used to sound better. Like, there's more originality, there's more, like, different sounds. Everything didn't sound the same. Like, there's better songwriting, as in my opinion. It's not so formulaic. And I don't know, the musicianship, and then maybe the recording techniques are a little bit, like, people are experimenting. They're doing interesting things. I don't know that that's happening so much now. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Tell me what I need to listen to. Prove me wrong, okay? But that's why these people are, the older acts are on my list. I just gravitate towards that older sound. But I understand that there have been newer Canadian musicians, and a lot of them are great. One honorable mention here is Ron Sexsmith. So Ron Sexsmith is not that well known, I don't think, in the United States. I think he had like 1 or 2 songs that maybe charted in some way. But I knew him because I knew of him because he had done some Gordon Lightfoot covers that I found, and I thought those were really good, so I kind of checked him out. And I really like his songwriting, I like his voice, I like his guitar work. So he's honorable mention. He could have been on this list for sure. Alanis Morissette, maybe she could have been on the list, but she wasn't. Okay. Avril Lavigne, Bieber, they never had a chance. Okay, it's not that I don't think they're good singers or whatever. I'm sure Bieber is probably I don't know, he's a talented guy, let's be honest, but just he's not on my list. Okay, I need to wrap this up. I will end by saying this: Canada, we love you, I love you. Please don't hate us Americans, okay? You guys rock. You delivered us some awesome music, some absolute gems, and we're enormously grateful. At least I am. And there's almost nowhere I'd rather be on vacation than Victoria, Vancouver, Tofino. I'm down here in Washington State. Go Dogs. And, I like to go up to British Columbia. It's one of my favorite things to do on vacation. So big props to our northern neighbors. Check all these artists out. Let me know what you think. And let me know if there's some other Canadian artists that I missed that I need to check out. And like and subscribe and all that. And I hope you guys are all doing amazing. And stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Peace.